There are a few crypto tokens that'll soon change the world. What are they? What's their technology? How big can they get? And how much money can you make off of them? Let's begin. You've probably heard people talking about AI. It's everywhere. And you'd probably agree that whoever truly figures out AI will make like $1 trillion. And unfortunately, that'll likely be some big tech company. And if that happens, it'll be like Zuckerberg can now afford 10 more doomsday bunkers. Big deal. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if the whole thing can be decentralized, open source, and peer-to-peer, meaning not only you would be able to get access to the world's most powerful AI systems, but you could also start tweaking and working on them yourself to earn money if you want to. This is in the works. It's a crypto project that introduces something called proof of intelligence. Kind of like proof of work or proof of stake, proof of intelligence pays out rewards to people who figure out the smartest AI models. The smarter the output, the more likely the node will be selected to add a new block to the chain, which means if that's you, you make money. Pretty cool. Now, I like this because it's collaborative. You don't need to build some massive AI system from scratch. Simply tweak an existing system and you'll be rewarded for it, among many other ways to be rewarded. It's kind of an amazing idea, but we can't get too ahead of ourselves here. The use cases are obviously theoretical at this stage. It's not yet fully built. I'll talk about other projects today that are further in development and usable right now, but this is one of those projects that I just keep thinking about. It just makes sense. Like, if AI is essentially a digital god, I would rather the whole world own it, like you and I and everyone else, instead of, again, Zuckerberg. This project is called BitTensor and the coin is called Tau. As it stands, BitTensor will need more adoption to prove this concept and more time to develop the thing, but the idea itself is super interesting and not overly far-fetched. It's possible. A bunch of computers, getting paid to help make machine learning more effective. Sounds great. My only concern with this one is AI is already hot. So some of the hype will already be priced into the token, and there's going to be a long road to make this thing what they dream it to be. It's one of those technologies that I just want to see win. Now, speaking of win, before we get to the next crypto, let's do a quick portfolio update. Last week, we had some crazy trading days over on the Finova Patreon, including this one-day gain where we spotted some interesting price action going on. We hopped in and we made a 39% profit in one day. That trade and many more would have been yours if you were a member of our Patreon last week. Now, if you want to make sure that you don't miss the next ones, my recommendation is to join quickly. We only open 15 spots a week, and last week we sold out in 2 days. So click that link in the description. Moving on to the next crypto that'll soon change the world. One of my favorite use cases for crypto is a little something called smart contracts. You've probably heard me talk about it before, but smart contracts need something to function properly. Data they can trust. Think of a smart contract like a vending machine. There's a super easy way to picture it. Maybe the agreement between you and a vending machine is if $2 is inserted, release 1 Diet Coke. Simple enough. What if the machine can't trust if the $2 is real? Well, then the whole agreement just falls apart. That's why trustable data within these agreements is so fundamental. And that's what this next project does. It connects real world data, like this $2 is real, to the blockchain in a safe, secure way. That way the contracts can function as they're supposed to. It's already supported by huge leading node operators like Vodafone, T-Mobile. It's used by the NBA. It's used by Swift to transfer assets across blockchains. It's used to power NFT collections, facilitate real world binary option markets. It already does a whole lot of stuff. The use cases, though, especially as crypto gets bigger, they're essentially endless. It helps anything that wants to marry blockchain smart contracts with real world data and real world events, and just makes the whole thing function as it should. What I like about this is it just makes sense. It's needed, it's not overly far-fetched, it already works. It's simply a technology that provides tamper-proof smart contracts. Really, what's not to like about it? The project is Chainlink with their Link token. Crypto analysts suspect it could reach $20, but I mean, even that I think could be potentially short-sighted. They've been around for a while, and it's just mind-boggling if you think about how big this project could be if you just theorize, like, if eventually everything could use some form of blockchain technology for increased security, this thing could be a massive piece of infrastructure for everything. Now, if you're perceptive though, you might have noticed something contradictory here. I'm on here talking about how great Chainlink is right now, but if you look at that last portfolio update where we made 39% profit, that was shorting Chainlink.
Whoa, stop.
What's up with that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. I think this project is going to do extremely well in the long term. But if there's technical signs showing the price will drop sharply in any short period on any project, it'd be dumb not to make a quick profit off of it. It's that simple. Next project, it's totally underrated. It's a cryptocurrency built around optimizing privacy and censorship-resistant transactions. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have transparent blockchains that anyone can see and in theory can be tracked, this project's users and transactions are hidden by default. Sender, receiver, amount, it's all hidden. Super important. Now, obviously, it's controversial. There are pros and cons to this all over the place. A major pro is that its technology was built to satisfy a popular demand that's just getting more popular: privacy and anonymity. The con, it's that anonymous financial transactions are pretty attractive to criminals who want to launder cash. But then again, so is normal paper money. Like, not much has changed there. The use cases are incredibly broad though, from citizens wanting to funnel money in and out of authoritarian countries, China, to hiding birthday surprises from your girlfriend if she's watching the blockchain ledger, I don't know. Or just simply enjoying more privacy. That's the most likely one. VPNs, they're already popular. This is like a VPN for your money. That's an easy way to think of it. So does the idea make sense? Yeah, it's a simple idea that services a fundamental human desire, but does that mean that they're actually going to be successful? Well, the project is called Monero with their XMR token. They already have significant demand. So far, they've seen 2 big price spikes in their history, and they don't seem to be going anywhere. This project's been around. This is particularly interesting right now if you just kind of paying attention and you're noticing the world shifting a little bit more to the right and a little bit more towards individual freedoms. I could see a token that has to deal with individual freedoms and privacy is doing pretty good. You never know. Now, you likely haven't heard of this next project. It utilizes something called overledger technology. Picture the current world of crypto and blockchain tech as a bunch of independent train lines all over the world, getting people from one place to the next. But then you also have private transport like cars. And if you wanted to use some mix of public trains and private cars, it's a bit of a mess. It's inefficient to use both. Overledger tech is aiming to make it easy for public blockchains and various private networks to communicate well with each other, both within the realm of public blockchain to other public blockchain and private to private and public to private all over the place, like this big spidery web connecting everything together. Maybe they should call it, I don't know, like the World Wide Web or something like that. I just thought of that idea. They could feel free to use it. Where this becomes interesting is when you consider the wider crypto industry though. The more that it grows and the more that it increases in complexity, the more useful this web becomes. Think of it like how search engines helped make web pages back in the day easier to find, until eventually the most effective search engine, Google, took over and basically took all the market share. In theory, this tool could help unify the blockchain for users and see this similar effectiveness. And this is just one of those technologies that it will happen eventually. Or should I say, it has to happen eventually for crypto to be truly mainstream. It has to be extremely easy for the average person to use crypto tech for it to be worth the hassle. Just like how you can browse the internet right now without needing to know a single thing about internet protocols. We need that for the blockchain. We need people to be able to use apps that are utilizing blockchain tech without knowing it has anything to do with blockchain tech. That's what we need for mainstream adoption. That's what this project Quant with their token QNT is trying to do. If they can pull off their ambitious goals of pulling the world of crypto together, it's going to be hard for investors not to get rich. Now, the biggest risk factor is if another project can do it better or faster than them. This next project is very exciting. It's both a crypto and a blockchain scaling platform. It sounds kind of boring, but just hear me out on this one. It works by connecting and growing Ethereum compatible blockchain networks. In essence, it wants to make Ethereum more efficient, unclogging all the junk and helping it expand in size and security. And this is great because Ethereum is pretty interesting tech to build off of. It handles financial services already, games, virtual worlds, all kinds of stuff. It can do a lot and it's seen a ton of success already. So this project has chosen a solid base of success, but its own tech is where it really shines here. It builds side chains off of the main blockchain. This bundles transactions together, it helps scale Ethereum and helps scale smart contracts built on the entire network. In short, it makes Ethereum capable of doing more. If you can do that, you can make money. Its main chain is proof of stake, where users can stake tokens to validate the network and earn money. That's great. The reason why I'm a fan though, is it takes something people already use, Ethereum, and then makes it better. This is a classic model in business. What's something people are already willing to spend money on? How can you make it better? Chances are you can make some money. As long as Ethereum remains popular and useful, a service like Polygon and their token Matic will always have use cases. That said, it is dependent on Ethereum's continued success, which some might see as a weakness. The good news though is that Polygon has been around for a while, they've proven themselves, and they have a big base of users. But how big could it get? I'm pretty optimistic about Ethereum's growth, which would obviously help Polygon, and it's already already seen big name users like Fox Corporation and HSBC using their services. The price, as of recording this, it could change, it's floating around 81 cents. But if Ethereum keeps climbing as it did last year, this could give Polygon the nudge that it needs to just make some massive gains, especially as all of these techs just start getting tied together more and more. The next project has some big swinging dicks involved.
Oh my God, that's not your leg!
Google, Hitachi, Dell, LG, Boeing, Ubisoft, I don't know how to say that. They're all in their governing body, but why? The answer is the tech. This is the only public ledger run on what's called hash graph consensus. It's a faster, more secure alternative to the blockchain. Like, it's an entirely different version of that kind of technology. It quickly validates transactions, it maintains a high level of security, it has like 10,000 transactions per second throughput, and it provides unchangeable and verifiable event logs. The aim here is greater transparency, greater trust, and the underlying idea, it seems, is to provide a stronger alternative to main blockchain powerhouses. But back to the companies. It might have scared you a little bit seeing all these huge companies behind it if you're anti-big corporations, but I mean, listen to this. Hedera is designed so that no one company has control over the whole network. It's decentralized. They all have a say, sure, but none of them have the main say as of right now. Yes, they could all band together and control it, but honestly, that's the case for basically every public market or asset. So the real question is, does this tech make sense? I think so. I like the idea of a different kind of public ledger. I actually like the idea of how their governance works. It's a cool experiment, and I'm just interested to see how this shakes out. Competition is good for Web3 as a whole. We need people throwing new ideas in the system and tossing cash at those ideas. But will Hedera and their coin HBAR make money? HBAR has seen better days. It peaked around like 2021, 2022 before falling. Now it's started to rise again. It's been adopted for projects by LG and Standard Bank, but I think it's gonna need something bigger, something louder, something more successful to really get this project rolling and driving the price up where we want it to be. Maybe this is a chance to get it cheap before a huge spike, but to be honest, I'm pretty torn on this one. This next project won the MasterCard Lighthouse Finitive program, which aims to find fintech unicorns. But why? Well, they're a borderless banking fintech platform that aims to provide secure banking services for literally everyone, like the world. They use this microservice architecture, which is super adaptive, meaning they can offer tailored digital finance solutions for you, for me, even for businesses. This is huge. They offer solutions that provide regulatory compliant blockchain infrastructure, which is a must for any company trying to use this kind of stuff, and gives them a safe in to this digital landscape. Like, if you have a company who wants to do this, that's how you do it. On the consumer side, they've got a whole bunch of crypto trading tools, banking tools, portfolio management, peer-to-peer payments, all kinds of stuff. Use cases are extremely broad here, from a banking app in your pocket to trusted business solutions for multinationals. And again, they won this award, which is a nice touch and puts some respect on their name. But how do you make money from it? The project is called Ethereum, done with their token Phi, or Phi, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, FI. It's been steadily climbing since December, but how big do I think it'll get? I'm actually pretty optimistic about this one. I like the idea, I want it to succeed. I've thought about starting my own bank because I've seen similar problems in finance that crypto definitely can solve. But my biggest concern in crypto is overbearing regulations. That's a major risk to projects like this. If governments stomp down on crypto, it's going to severely hinder growth in the short run. To understand the full picture of what banks and regulators are up to, it's crazy. You have to watch this video on screen. That's all. Love you. Bye.